welcome to the regular monthly meeting of the Lebanon Town Council for the month of February. At this time, we'd like to call, on Pastor James Nunley for our invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we sure are thankful, God, for the privilege to be here this evening. Thankful, God, for your hand of mercy, Lord, that's real to us every morning. Thankful we can take part here in our local government. We ask you, Father, that you would inhabit this place today. We pray for each leader that's represented here. Pray, God, for wisdom and discernment in every decision that's to be made. Father, again, I thank you for so great a salvation that you've given us through your Son, Jesus, in whose name we do pray. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all.
James, thank you for being here. Okay, we're down to the agenda now for editing items on the agenda. Does any council member have anything they wish to add tonight? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second? Second. Discussion. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We received our minutes from the regular meeting in January and two call meetings on the 16th and 26th. Everyone had a chance to review those? Is there a motion to approve? Have a motion to approve the minutes for those three meetings. Is there a second?
Second, Mayor.
Dan? It was pretty close, it was a tie. Okay. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Mr. Short, do you have any additions to the accounts payable for tonight?
Yes, sir. Section B, Metro Station has 3 additional preliminary report items. BH Reynolds, USA Blue Book, and Floor Concrete.
Okay. We'll refer to the chair of the finance committee. Gilmer?
Mayor, to move to discussion, I'll move to approve January accounts payable with the additions as presented.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Discussion?
Yes, sir, I do have a couple of questions, Drew. The credit card dispute we talked about last month.
Yes.
We get that resolved.
Still working with Common Lateral First Bank and Trust on it, though, and talks with them, so.
Okay. Any Appalachian Power expenses related to the downtown lighting? Just make sure it turns off the State Street. I know there were several AEP bills on here.
Yes.
Other than that, Mayor, I don't have any more questions.
Any other questions? All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. You have that's the chief tonight. How are you?
Doing good, how are you, Mayor?
I see several, are these all your guys with you?
Yeah, I claim most of them, right in the back row back there, so.
But we have several recognitions tonight, and we thank you all for being here. We're going to start with Mr. Kegley and his service recognition for the Lebanon Planning Commission. So Leonard, if you could go down front with me, please. Y'all don't mind, just go ahead and start lining up behind us, please.
You got the nice one.
Winter, this is, we'll pass a resolution regarding your service on the Lebanon Planning Commission. And I get to read to you, sorry. Expressing the consensus of the mayor, town council, and town manager regarding the service of J. Leonard Kegley. Whereas Mr. Kegley served on the planning commission for the town of Lebanon for 6 years with exceptional dedication. Whereas Mr. Kegley possessed diplomatic leadership and skills which were great assets to the town of Lebanon. And whereas Mr. Kegley was willing to share his broad range of knowledge and unfailing devotion in solving difficult issues for the town. Whereas Mr. Kegley devoted considerable time and effort to the betterment of the town of Lebanon for its citizens. Now therefore be resolved by the mayor, members of the town council and town manager, that Mr. J. Leonard Kegley be hereby commended for his commitment, accomplishments, and good works. And be it further resolved, this resolution in recognition of Mr. J. Leonard Kegley be made a permanent part of the recorded town council minutes on February 13, 2023. Do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Dale, you need to get up closer.
I think that's
You got
good.
it?
I believe so.
Thank you. Hey, John Michael, sir, can you go up here a minute, please? A little assistance. Look out. Is everyone here receiving the same, is this the same? So, one complete resolution and call it all the names. So read it all. I'll read one of them. Okay. Here, ready? Flag. I understand this is master engineer course you take.
Lance Campbell, I put that together.
Okay, very good. Well, we're, first of all, congratulations to everyone that's here tonight from the fire department. You all been working hard as evidenced by tonight, and plus other, read all your reports that you send in monthly. And it seems that you all are extremely busy here of late. I had a question, I do have one question. When we get that code, y'all get that call, you go out. Seems like sometimes a lot of them are medical conditions, not necessarily a fire.
Correct, yeah.
Y'all have to respond to those as well.
We do, when that, when I say that's for.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, I'm gonna read this resolution and ask the council to approve it. And the chief said this is the same except for the names. So I'm gonna start with one, then we're gonna hand this out. If all of you all could stay up here until we get them all distributed. Okay. Expressing the consensus of the mayor and town council regarding the accomplishments of Mr. Brad Cook. Whereas Brad Cook was successful in passing the Lebanon Volunteer Fire Department Master Engineer course. Whereas Mr. Cook completed a 2-day class of hands-on training as well as passing the practical course test taught by Chief John Michael McCoy and Chief Engineer Lance Campbell. Therefore, be resolved by the mayor and town council that Brad Cook be hereby commended for passing the master engineer course to adding rank from firefighter to master engineer. Be it further resolved that Brad Cook be hereby commended for his commitment, dedication, and success this 13th day of February 2023.
He's gonna call by name? He's gonna call by name.
Oh, yeah.
Who's he got first?
Yeah, would you tell me who's here?
Is Randy here? Yes.
Randy Stanson. Congratulations, man. Dropping sure Sean will get us a picture here. Dan Bush. Okay, rest of them. Yep. We will take care of it.
I'll take care of it.
Caleb McLaughlin. Chase Campbell. So like this, we need to get down this way a little bit. Let's get along. Caleb Stinson. Congratulations. Chris Dye. Adam Pitcher. Congratulations. And Jesse Fields. Sure, I don't want to get here between you and Brad. Let's move down and let Sean line us up here. Could the council join us again, please? Come this way, John. Or you want the middle? Let's let you get in the middle.
We can do it right here.
Okay. We'll have to let him tell us.
I can get everybody.
Huh?
I can get everybody.
You can? All right.
So make sure y'all have y'all do it. Yeah, I do.
Thank you. Everybody here? Did you get in?
I guess.
Thank y'all. Congratulations, guys. Good to see you, buddy. Congratulations.
Sure, everybody, y'all tonight? If you do call.
Thank you, guys.
Here we go.
Hey, Chief.
Sir.
I'm sorry. This is-
Oh, that one.
Sorry. Too many chiefs in here.
No,
Okay, we have with us on a public request in the agenda, and then we'll get to those who signed up when they got here. We'll start with Alec Decker. Alec, come forward. He's here regarding, I guess, an Eagle Scout project?
Yes, sir. I was wanting to know if I could get permission to place my Eagle Scout project out here at the park in town. The idea for my project was to have like a historical plaque telling that the Russell County Fair was out there before it was moved to Castlewood. So just wanting to know if I could do that, maybe on the inside of the track near the shelter.
So you're gonna make you a plaque with the information about the fair on it? Is that
Yes,
what
sir.
you're doing? All right. Well, we all spent, some of us, a lot of us spent a long time over there back in the day. I'll just leave it at that, and some of you didn't. How's the council? What's the council's pleasure regarding this request? Motion approved. We have a motion and a second. Further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Alan, good luck. If you don't mind, keep in touch with Mr. Short
Yes,
here at Town Hall, so we'll know what's going on, and look, check out the progress, and when you're done, Mr. Street with the Lebanon News will probably like to do an article.
Okay, yes, sir. Whenever I get everything finalized, I'll let him know.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
luck to you.
Thank you, yes, sir.
All right. Where you going now?
Setting this up. Do a presentation right here.
Who's doing a presentation? Oh, you all are.
Yes.
Oh. Gymnastics, are y'all doing gymnastics here tonight?
We have 2 years, you can.
That's what I figured.
I'm sure they can do some flips. Nothing too big, feeling not quite long.
You'd like for him to join you too.
Yes. Mayor, really teach you how to cartwheel or
Oh,
split.
Not one more.
They just left, we should have done it
You kept
first.
them while they were here. Who's representing you? Who's, so we can get the minutes. You got everybody's name? So we're now down to Positively Gymnastics Parents Presentation. Drew needs to do the cartwheel.
Mayor, council, and manager, we appreciate your time tonight. I will try to go through this quickly. You all have it in front of you, but we could probably talk for hours about Positively Gymnastics, which I'm not sure how much you all know about Positively Gymnastics, but it is truly a wonderful place for the girls who go there. Crystal and I created Positively Parents, which is a fundraising, not-for-profit group that is simply there to raise money for the gymnasts and to raise money to add new equipment to the gym, which is one of the big things that the gym has a need for as time goes on, because obviously things wear out. Positively Gymnastics was opened by Lori Branham in 1993 under the name Southwest Gymnastics. An interesting history to this is Lori was actually going to coach a gymnastics team for the community college, but the college didn't want it. So instead, she came here and opened a training facility so that all of those girls who wanted to compete could. She changed the name to Positively Gymnastics a few years later because she felt that better explained what she wanted from the gym. She really wants everyone to have a positive experience when they it's been in Lebanon since it opened, but it's been moved from the original location. I think at some point it was near the high school.
It was behind Wyoda Consignment, and I don't know what that used to be, a really small facility. And then we rented from Mickey Hamilton and his dad at the garage that was out there, right past the high school on Pioneer Drive. And then we just opened this brand new facility in 2019.
And the new facility is actually behind the Russell County Government Center. It's a very unassuming tan-colored building, and most days of the week you will see a ton of cars in front of it, and unless you see the sign, you probably wouldn't know it was there. But that is a picture of the inside of the gym right after it was built. It closed during COVID for a really long time. Opened back up, all of our girls were super excited. And it is the home to multiple gymnastics teams and rec classes.
There we go.
Okay. We have team gymnastics. I don't know how much you all know about gymnastics, but there are 3 governing bodies for gymnastics. There is USAG, which is the one everyone hears about. This is the one that produces the gymnasts that you see in the Olympics and most of the collegiate gymnasts. There's also AAU, which is kind of like your basketball league, the Amateur Athletic Union. They also have a gymnast league. And there's also the NGA. We are not part of NGA, but we are part of the other 2. Now, inside of USAG and AAU, there's 2 different tracks for gymnasts. There's the Excel level, and then there is the developmental program level. The Excel level is this copper through diamond that you see. This gives gymnasts a little bit more input into their routines and what they're actually doing. And then the developmental program, under USAG, you see level 7. The gymnasts you see in college usually compete through level 10. The gymnasts you see in the Olympics have done done level 10 and they've been invited to become elite gymnasts. So we have gymnasts that are level 7 right now, which means in a few years they could actually be level 10 gymnasts.
That's the hope.
That's the hope, because we have some that want to go to college on a gymnastics scholarship. So we also have rec classes. Our rec classes start at the preschool level, that's ages 3 and 4. They go to beginner from there whenever they turn 5. And then if they're lucky, they get invited to the intermediate level, and then invited up to the advanced level. And that's 2 of our girls on one of our theme days.
And the beginner, intermediate, advanced, it's age dependent for preschool and beginner, but after that, to move up, it's skill dependent. So as they get new skills, they're invited to move up. And eventually, hopefully, get invited to team from the rec classes.
So copper and bronze is our lowest level. These are generally 5 years old and up. We have 11 gymnasts that are copper and bronze, 4 copper, 7 bronze. They practice twice a week for an hour and a half each time. 3 hours a week whenever you're 5 years old is a lot of time in the gym. Of these 11, 5 do not live in Russell County. They go to 3 regular season meets, and after their very first meet this season, all 11 actually qualified to attend the AAU Regional Gymnastics Championship, which is a huge thing. Our silver gymnasts, we have 14 of those. They also practice twice a week, but they practice for 2.5 hours at a time. So they practice 5 hours a week. Of these 14 gymnasts, 7 do not live in Russell County. They get to go to 6 regular season meets. And after our first 2 meets, all 14 had qualified for regionals and for the AAU National Gymnastics Championship, which is a very big deal. Next, we have our gold gymnasts. We have 8 of those, including my daughter, who is right there and hiding. These girls practice 2 to 3 times a week. They practice 3 hours a day on Tuesday, Thursday, and 2.5 hours a day on Friday. I think that's 8.5 hours a week. 4 of these gymnasts, including my daughter, are from other counties than Russell County. 6 regular season meets, and all 8 of them also qualified for regionals and nationals this year. Next, we have platinum and diamond. So we have 4 gymnasts that are platinum and diamond. They practice the same as the golds, 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Of these gymnasts, all of them come from other counties. They have 6 regular season meets, and all of them also qualified. Another note about these gymnasts is we have a gymnast who does not compete with us, who is a diamond level gymnast, who travels once a week from Grayson County in order to train in our facility.
Grayson County?
Yes, so her parents drive her over 2 hours one way just to come. She actually competes for Grayson County Gymnastics. Her parents would love for her to compete for Positively, but getting here multiple times a week would be very hard for them. The 1 time a week is a lot. Finally, we have our USAG Level 7 gymnasts. We have 4 of those, and they practice anywhere from 9 to 20 or more hours a week. The one you see sitting right there is our 20-plus hours a week gymnast. She's also from Lebanon. You all may recognize her. Of these 4, 2 are from outside counties. They do 6 regular season meets, and all 4 of these gymnasts actually decided to compete their very first meet under the AAU rules, because they really wanted to see if they could qualify for regionals and nationals, and all 4 of them did. So our rec classes are on Mondays. They're for 1 hour. The goal is to move to team. We have 145 rec team or rec class gymnasts. And of those 145, half of them do not live in Russell County. I know you are. This one's kind of hard to read. This is our owner and coaches. Lori Branham was the 1980 West Virginia state champion all around beam and floor. She opened Positively. And she also competed for Bluefield College. I've got Melody Honaker up there. She's our head coach. She actually competed through level 10. She competed through level 10, and she went to the University of Kentucky to be on their gymnastics team. She coaches our level 7 diamond and platinum, but she also helps coach all of the younger kids. Shay Tritt is our gym manager. She is also a certified coach. Shanna Cook is our front office lady, and without her, we could not do anything. Sabrina Trout competed through level 5, and she coaches all levels. Kelly Cook coaches bronze through gold. Linda Floyd competed through high school. She coaches bronze through gold for Positively, but she actually, our Grayson County gymnast I mentioned earlier, she also coaches her at Grayson County Gymnastics. So Linda travels there to help coach their team. Riley Cook is also a diamond level gymnast, and she helps coach the rec classes in bronze through gold. Then we have Natalie Honaker, who, yes, is Melody's daughter. She competed for Positively. She coaches the rec classes and bronze through gold, and she's a floor specialist. She's a dancer, and she really helps them make these routines amazing. Our meets this year, we have 3 more local meets in Kingsport, Johnson City, and Pigeon Forge. Those are the ones that all of our levels go to. Then we have 3 travel meets. One in Asheville, North Carolina, one in Greenville, South Carolina, and one in Savannah, Georgia. Then we have regionals. We're going back to Pigeon Forge. And then we have nationals, which is going to be in Orlando, Florida.
We should include that of the meets we have traveled to so far, our teams have brought home banners, top 3 banners.
3 for
At each of the meets, with the exception of maybe Asheville. I don't know if we had a team placement there, but they're doing really well this season. Their hard work is definitely paying off.
So last season, we were also invited to the AAU National Gymnastics Championships, and that was in Springfield, Illinois, which is somewhere none of these girls would have gone if not for gymnastics. The gymnasts went on a ghost tour of the city. That's a picture of some of them right before we started learning all of the spooky stuff about Springfield. They were able to visit Lincoln's Presidential Library, his museum, and even his tomb, which we walked through, and they visited his home. And it was very good, especially at that age, because they all love Abraham Lincoln. They love to learn about him, and they got to actually see where he was. Our entire team also qualified for this last year. 17 gymnasts attended. I think last year we had about 33 gymnasts total on team, so almost half went. None of our bronze or copper went. That was their own decision, but silver, gold, platinum, and diamond had gymnasts from every level. Every gymnast placed in the all-around for their level and age, and we had 15 that medaled on individual events. So that means they were in the top 50% of gymnasts all across the country on these specific events. We had 3 event gold medals on diamond, vault, and beam with Easton back there. We had a platinum floor gold medal with Riley Molina, who actually no longer trains with us because her family moved to North Carolina. Then we had 3 event silver medals with Lucy Savage, who's in that picture right there, on beam for diamond, and Easton again on bars and floor. This is the big one. The diamond level national champion is Easton Breeding. And our diamond level silver medalist was Lucy Savage. So the top 2 in the country came from Positively Gymnastics. And that was the top competing level. So why are we here? We wanted to let you know about what Positively brings into your community. Parents, gymnasts, siblings, we all eat here 2 or 3 times a week. We also shop here. I do all of my grocery shopping here. A lot of gift shopping happens here because we are here so much. And the parents actually do have choices. There's actually a gym closer for us to go to. We have some people out of Washington County. They have 2 or 3 gyms to choose from down there. But we come here because of the facility and because of the coaches, because these coaches cannot be beat. So, unlike the other sports in town, which we think are wonderful and we really appreciate the support for everyone, half of the participants at Positively don't live here. And if it weren't for Positively, we would probably never come to Lebanon because there wouldn't be a reason. And we would just really like the town's help because we do have regionals and nationals coming up. We have 6 teams that are heading to those. Up to 41 gymnasts will be competing. And we were just hoping that there might be some way that we could get a little bit of support from the town in the way of funding or anything else that you all could provide for us as we head to these meets. And finally, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram. We have a website that is being worked on. It has to be updated. And
COVID kind of killed it.
COVID killed it.
Yeah, we're working on it.
And we would also like to invite you all to come visit the gym. You have the hours. If you would like to come in sometime and see these gymnasts at work and see what they do, you can come to the gym, walk upstairs and look around and see what they're doing. You could also, you probably all know Crystal, you could probably go to her Facebook page and see videos of that one and what she does, which is quite frankly amazing.
I would like to add, and it looks, when you're looking at this presentation, you see that, yes, it seems like a lot of hours in the gym to all of you, but our kids probably, even at our highest level right now, at least in level 7, probably spend half the amount of time in the gym that a lot of our competitors spend. Our coaches pride themselves on really great structured practices where that we get the most out of our time there and the money that we put into the gym. They really work hard to make sure our girls get everything they need. So for our groups to be up there with the top, with half the time in the gym, that speaks a lot about them. They're very good at their job.
There are actually a lot of gymnasts, especially out of like North Carolina and South Carolina, that are homeschooled. That way they can be in the gym all day. And they spend 2 hours at night on their studies. So, I mean, kids are spending 40, 50, 60 hours in the gym a week, and Easton beat them all nationals. So, I mean, it was huge.
Oh, yeah. I'll be sure you tell him that, Kate.
Preston does cartwheels.
We do have some videos of that. Maybe I should have brought that in.
So, thank you guys for your time.
Well, we want to thank you for your presentation. I believe we were fortunate to recognize Easton
Yeah.
and Lucy this past summer for their accomplishments, which we're very proud of. Regarding your request, I assume you're talking about the regionals and nationals
Yes.
that you need, for asking for assistance on. We're right in the middle, so our budget year runs July to June. July 1 to June 30. So what we'll do is we'll take your request, we'll go through the finance committee, we'll discuss it, and did you leave a contact with Mr. Short?
Yes,
Does he know how to get up with
he
you?
has my information, and Ms. Nunley has my phone number and email as well, so they
Very
can.
good. Well done, nice presentation, very
Thank you.
well done. Y'all have, council members have questions?
No, that's what I was gonna say, Mayor. Usually with our nonprofits, be specific about your requests and get them in, for budget committee meetings.
Okay, I did not know, and this is my fault for not doing the research. I did not know your year was June until July until today, so that falls on me. We'll be here, June, the first meeting in June.
Well, I will go ahead and get information though, as soon as you can, to Mr. Short.
Okay.
About the, and you probably, I'm assuming we need a specific request, don't we, or not?
Okay,
think
well,
we
we weren't sure exactly if we should come to you with like a budget of what we're gonna have to spend and all that. We don't wanna be too presumptuous, but we can make that happen.
Yeah, just, and then right there.
I wouldn't wait till June.
Oh, no,
you
I
need to
meant
do
for
it
the
pretty
next fiscal year, we will be here, we'll come then
Yeah,
too.
but we'll be doing the budget April, May, and June.
Okay.
We have to have it approved by
Right.
July 1, so just whenever you all get your all's finances figured out, get with Drew, and then he'll present it.
We probably have most of it now, so you'll have it in the next other two. All right, thank you guys so much for your time.
soon. Call you next time. Thanks.
Thank you all.
Thank you guys so much.
All right, thank you all.
Thank you.
Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Of course, I say your name. I say your name all the time.
Okay, Miss Martin, I know you're out there somewhere. How are you?
Doing well, how are you?
Good, it's good to see you tonight.
Good to see you. Thank you so much for having me, Mayor, Councilman. I'm here really early in the year this year because I had met the mayor outside, and our Red Fest core group has approached me with wanting to move Red Fest from not at the fairground anymore, because it's just, a lot of veterans that we have coming out are elderly or disabled, and it's just very hard to get around. So, I know a guy. So, I thought, I ran into the mayor and I presented the option. I said, what would you think about moving Vetfest to Lebanon? And he said, talk to Shane. I did. I hope I'm gonna get your blessing. Shane put Vetfest on the calendar for September 30th in Lebanon at the, in front of the rec center, the ball field, the shelters, everything. I just wanted to go ahead and inform you all, wanted to ask if it's okay to put it on the town calendar that's online, if that is an option.
Well, let me say, for me, first of all, we'd be honored to have you have our Vet Fest here in Lebanon, okay? And we'd like to be a part of that. Shane did mention, I don't know if he had talked to Drew, it seemed like we passed the discussion. We haven't met as a group as far as the date. I was looking at our events for the year, and that date doesn't conflict with anything.
I had to talk to him. I said, I'm gonna give you 2 dates. I'm gonna come to the office and we'll hash it out. And if we have to move it any other way, it's no problem. But the 30th is open. There was nothing else scheduled. And
Let's see, the 30th, does that get this region by Rhythm and Roots? It's before September 30th, isn't it?
it's Rhythm and Roots. It's the first week of September. No, the
Okay.
second week.
Second week.
Yeah.
Just trying to avoid anything going on.
Yeah, we kind of, I mean, and it's good too, it's removed from the race, so there's 2 weeks between the race and, you know, breakfast.
Okay.
So I hope y'all would be agreeable for us to have it. I've already had multiple requests for resources to come back in. We have gained a lot of resources. So I think for Lebanon, it would be fantastic. We have cut a little bit of the program, but just focused on a lot of things that really are going to help our veterans and is going to help our community. So,
Council, what's your council's feelings regarding this?
It's a great idea for the town.
I do too. Let's go ahead so she'll feel confident. Let me get a motion to allow the annual Vet Fest to be at the Lebanon Community Center.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There you go.
We appreciate it.
Thank you for what all you do.
I really appreciate it, guys. I guess I'm gonna come back up. We have a banner for Vet Fest, and I was wondering if I wasn't quite sure when farm to table and all this is gonna take place, but I was wondering if there's maybe a couple of week window where we can maybe hang the banner in town.
How big is the banner? Is it big enough to go across Main Street?
Oh, yeah, it will be.
We just need to, just schedule that with Mr. Short and the crew.
Whatever works, and if it's better to just have the smaller one at the town hall again, that's fine too. Just let me know, we do whatever we need to do.
I suggest we do them all.
So you already have a large banner?
We will get a larger banner.
So she would need dimensions for like the big rig truck show, like we're talking about hanging across.
Across Main Street.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to span over the entire Main Street, but pretty good to see. I think we did.
Do you have a logo of any kind?
We do, yes, sir.
If you wouldn't care, you can get the logo and the date and, you know, any kind of design that you currently have on that banner. If you would give it to Mr. Short. You know, when you say not across, what happens if that banner, when you're thinking maybe not across Main Street, well, what happens is it shrinks in 4 lanes of traffic, okay? What you think's a big banner may not be a big banner. So if you just get the dimensions to Mr. Short, and then we as a governing body we'll see what options that are available for the veterans.
I appreciate
Okay.
it so much, and I'll get you all more details as soon as we get it nailed down. everything is in the planning phase, so I don't want to give you any details if I
Okay.
don't
Understand?
100% know, but I so appreciate it.
You're
Thank you
certainly
so
welcome.
much.
Thank you. Ms. Wanda Burke,
Yes, sir.
you come up here before Randy gets up here.
Yes. Well, we're back.
That's right.
We
Saw
have Mark
an article
Merrow.
somewhere.
Mark Merrow's coming back.
Was that 11th, I think? Did I see
Yes.
him somewhere?
He's coming back the 20th and 21st of September, except this time we are going to the middle schools. I have already contacted, Dr. Hooker was the first person I called.
Can you give us those dates again?
Yep, the 20th and 21st.
September.
Mhm.
And it'll be at middle school level
And we're
this
gonna
year?
do middle school level, and then we're gonna do another community night, that Thursday night again. Yep.
Good.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, we have researched a lot of people. And there's a lot of people that go to speak that think a lot of themselves. Because most everybody is $30,000 to $50,000 for one session. So we know when we get Mark in here for about 10, we've done well. But we've already contacted the school board, the school's all about it. She's gonna bring the kids from, I believe, Swords Creek up to Homeacre, so that they're all there at the same time. This time we only have to do 4 sessions instead of 6 like we did before. But again, we'll ask if possible, if y'all can make a donation to help bring him here. And like you said, I know you're at the end of your year, but it will be deeply appreciated. HMG has jumped on for $2,500 again, so we're getting our donations together, but we appreciate anything y'all can do. I think he made such a huge impact on the kids in this county. Linda Austin had a meeting up at the high school not too long ago, and she said the kids that came in, how they raved about him and the influence that he made, and it was so positive.
Plus their parents.
And I'm telling you, yes.
You couldn't do it for the high school like you did last year either, in a way you could do it all.
Probably not all of them, no, because that'd be like 10 sessions, yeah.
Last year you just did high school.
Last year, all we did was high school. Well, we did the middle school the last day only because Mr. Breeding had asked us to come in and do it. Normally, when he goes and speaks, he normally goes to the middle schools. I guess because at that point, that's when they're really, they're influenced,
Oh, yeah.
And I just think that if y'all can help us out, like I said, we're gonna be trying to raise as much as we can, because we just think it's really important that we take care of our kids, because y'all know what's going on, and it's just getting worse every day, so.
Well, we thank you
If
for what
there's
you
anything
did.
that y'all can do, we will deeply appreciate it. He's $2,500 a session, $2,500
Don't
a school.
forget to keep in touch and communicate with Mr. Short
Yep,
to make sure that we don't miss that,
yeah,
okay?
yeah, so
Okay.
just wanted to put it on there.
Thank you. Mr. Randy Burke.
That best mayor, did we confirm the 30th, or were we looking at that date,
No,
or
it is, it's already on there,
September 30th?
September 30th. How are you this evening?
Doing good, y'all doing good.
You good?
Not up here begging for money or asking for money, I let her do that. She does smile better than I do, so I really smile a lot. So what I wanted to talk to you about is, last week, the Board of Supervisors passed a ordinance to stop abortion clinics from being in Russell County. They said that those ordinances are not covered. They don't cover Lebanon, they don't cover Homeacre, they don't cover Cleveland County, they don't interfere with y'all's. So I'm asking the board to do the same thing. Let's do an ordinance for the kids. I mean, every one of us in this room is here because mom didn't abort us. I mean, and so we need to, that's what I'm here for. I'd just like to see something get done, and done pretty quick. They're gonna come in here as a health clinic, like I said before. I know I brought this up before. We got railroaded on, I ain't said by y'all, a lot of these people come in here with their pain management clinics, it's doing Suboxone. We don't want 8 women's health clinics in here doing abortions.
I'm gonna mention something to you, Randy, and I really am gonna consult Mr. Tiller. Procedurally, I understand, I don't think the county can make us abide by that ordinance, but I don't know that if we have the option as a local governing body, is there a need to reinvent the wheel if it's the same ordinance? Can we?
I think it's in effect in Lebanon if Lebanon doesn't adopt something different.
Well, according to them last week, because they told Peanut to make sure that when he got back to Homemaker to tell them they'd have to do their own thing because it would not be covered in that one because y'all got your own governing body.
See, I disagree with that because citizens of Lebanon vote for the board of supervisors, remember?
And
I don't know why.
And they pay county taxes.
And they
And
pay
what
county
do
taxes.
they cover if they don't cover
Well-
Lebanon, Homemaker, Pueblo?
I went out there and asked them to make one for the Suboxone clinics in the county because, to do something there. But just, I don't know, but we need to find that out. And if not, I'm begging you to do one. We don't need that in here. And there was a lot of people that came and spoke. There was a priest that come in from Bristol. He done outstanding. I mean, he done outstanding. About come and go with him for a day and he'll show you what it will bring to the town and the county. So I'm just here to say, please, 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 let's do something proactive on this thing and not wait and try to, when you get here.
That's right. Thank you,
I
Randy.
appreciate it.
Larry Hughes.
I want to thank the board. I want to give you a picture. I want to introduce you to something. A lot of people say they love the current child, that's just sales. It's just a good, it's not a baby, okay? I want you to take a look at young master William James. 24 weeks, 5 days old. Sorry, can't have enough. My first grandchild. That's a baby. Say what you want, but this is a baby. And when we take and we kill babies, at what age are we going to stop? Governor Northam said, let's just deliver them. Let them put them out here, make them comfortable, and we'll decide what to do with them. That's at after birth. Are we going to go 1 year, 2 years, 5 years? How long are we going to go to? But a murder is a murder. And I'm going to ask you, again, the county has stepped up, and they passed ordinance. Again, I'm not sure what's going on, what you can and not, but I do think there's some things legally you could do. I mean, we've talked about the Miller Rule before, and also the Colony Doctrine. The Colony Doctrine is kind of against the Miller Rule. The Miller Rule says the state has to have something, but the Colony Doctrine says, no, I think the counties and state can do something else. I'll leave that to the learned Mr. Kevin, and I really appreciate him as attorney. So I'm asking you, like this, let's pass something. Let's be proactive. Again, I have a problem, again, with the Suboxone thing coming here, because back in the day, in the 90s, I was here, you might remember, I spoke against the methadone thing, and y'all passed orders that and other things wouldn't come in here. We turned around, all of a sudden we got 7 here in town.
It's not methadone.
Now, those are not, but it said, it said methadone and other controlled substances. But this element's within. Let's be proactive. But once you get them in here, it's hard to get out.
You're right.
Let's be proactive and do something with it. This is my first grandbaby. And I'm not going to let anybody kill this baby. If it's anything in my power. My granddaughter's not going to. She's her entire goal, her life, since as long as I remember, I want to have a baby one of these days. This is my proud and joy to you. And when it's here, I'll probably introduce you to you. You probably have to first.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you.
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
For the mayor, procedurally, will we, any business license application for medical facilities, will they be ran by the county prior to being approved by the town of Lebanon?
Out in the county, I don't know.
No, within the town.
The county didn't have it.
Oh, you're saying if they come in as a business, they'd have to come here and get a business license with it, Kevin? Well,
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
but, I mean, how, would we need to run those applications by the county to make sure they meet their ordinances before we approve any of those applications?
you know,
I mean, is that not until we get clarification, in which I'm going with what Mr. Tiller says, obviously, that, you know, the town of Lebanon's in the county, so therefore those ordinances uphold. So, just procedurally moving forward, I think we need any application regarding medical facilities, they need to make sure, we need to make sure they meet the county, or send those to the county and make sure they meet their ordinances before we approve them within the town. Is that reasonable?
Well, I
Is
think
that
I agree
unreasonable?
because here's what we've got. We have an ordinance that counties passed. We're gonna consult with Mr. Tiller regarding moving forward, but in the meantime, it would appear to me, Drew, let's say Miss Nunley gets a call for a health clinic, and we've got a copy of the ordinance. You know, my initial thought is we don't approve anything that we consult Mr. Tiller in the county. To me, that's a red flag till we resolve our local.
Yeah, I'd like to put that procedure
You
in
see what I'm
place.
saying? I'm afraid if we don't get ahead, at least we'll be working with the county until we decide within the corporate, locally governing what we're gonna do, Drew.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
I do. Do we need to pass something prior to that?
I think we can approve this procedure. We don't,
Procedure.
until we can. Is that what your motion is?
Yes, sir.
Can you, would you, my memory's short a little bit there. Scott, can you say it again?
Any business license applications for health facilities need to be pre-approved with legal and the county ordinances prior to town approval.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Kevin, we'll be talking, okay? Get advice.
Give us a copy of that ordinance also, Kev.
I sent Tony one.
Yeah, did I send it to you yet? Yeah, look, we've got it. I'll just email it. Diane, if you can send it out. Okay. Under new business, in your agenda packet, and if we could, I talked to Sean, Miss Diane, if we can give a copy of the Cedar Fest schedule to Sean, please. Do you remember right offhand if it has the September 30th on it? The Vet Fest? Would you care to add that, please? September 30th, Town Community Center. And Sean, you know, if you got questions, just holler at me. Okay? Okay, Mr. Short, by the end of the town manager's report.
So I need for City Fest.
That's all, it's in the agenda packet. All dates are filled, fine.
Hey, I do have a question about Cedar Fest, Mayor. The lineup of artists, is Corey Smith, is he back out or?
He did. He got on another tour. Paid him a lot more money. Yes. For sure.
Good evening. First thing I've got, first 3 or 4 things actually were, when we had our Parks and Rec Committee meeting, all of the updates we talked about. We've got quotes for all things that we asked for. Before I get started though, item number 3, the playground covering quotes. Shane actually had another crew come in today to measure and thought some of their measurements might have been wrong. I've had a turf company that I've tried to get in touch with all last week. They're out on a job. They're going to come in next week and measure and give a quote. So we both agreed to push out back. Let's do a little bit more research for such a.
You got 2 more companies to look at? That's good.
It's a pretty big price tag, so I think we just need to do a little bit more research on that before we move forward. We've got the other 3 things ready to go. The first one's the basketball goals. And I got at your station, Shane has put his recommendations on for each thing. Wrote up a little thing, and those actually have another quote for the basketball goals that are.
Hang on then. Is it in
No,
there?
it's separate.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
So that goal there, that's $2,500. It's identical to the ones that are at Southwest.
Is that a piece or a pair?
That's a piece.
Okay. These are the goals at the community college?
Yes.
And these are the ones Shane's recommended also, correct?
Yes. And they also include, it's not on here, I don't think I've seen it on here, but it also includes a pad that goes around that pole as well.
There's something I wonder, in bold print, a lifetime guarantee? Let's see, look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the other one's like 1 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Guarantees maybe.
I think that glass is like a half-inch thick, cheaper, so it's not going to get busted by a rock. Be plenty of a try.
It says up here, one available glass and steel.
Do what?
It says it's available glass or steel.
White steel, yeah, white steel is an additional 180.
What do we table where this meeting go?
The covering for the playground,
Okay.
the porcelain rubber.
The
turf.
surface thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some turf companies coming.
I saw the prices, so it's probably good to table that. Mayor, I'd like to move forward
Yes.
with this specific road. Dunkirk, if he leaves, if Drew, if that's your suggestion and Parks and Rec Director's suggestion, make this our upgrade to the Dust Bowl facility.
Second.
You're good with it, and is this your recommendation too?
Yes, I think it's one of the better looking ones and the cheaper ones, so yeah, I think so.
Price, warranty.
Oh, yeah. So we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Drew, if you don't care, I don't know where you were headed.
I was going to go to the bathroom floors next.
Let's talk about while we're on the basketball goals.
Let's talk about the-
You got the concrete costs.
Yes, so Billy reached out to 2 separate companies. We're going to change that court to 40 by 70 is what we walked out there and marked off originally. Austin Paving gave him a quote, $19,800. He was trying to get another one for quality paving, and they never got back with him. I think once he told them that they were thinking about concrete, he said they couldn't be anywhere near a concrete price. So I did get with Robbie to measure out, see what he would do with the concrete. The concrete materials would be $3,800. He said it'd take about 4 or 5 days work with 4 or 5 guys, so labor come out to around $4,200, so it'd be about $8,000.
So we buy the concrete and our guys pour it.
Yeah, do the grade work. We have to
Do the grade.
dig up that asphalt, grade down
So
that's 4 inches.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second. That's a project.
Do it ourselves instead of paying.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's exactly right. We can do it
Gotta take
ourselves.
place before we install goals, correct?
It can, yeah, either way. Those goals are 5-foot offset, so it's probably easier to do the court first and then.
Those right there, if I'm not mistaken, Drew, I think they're bolt into the ground.
They have a sleeve, the concrete's in, I think.
You have to
slide back
you got
into
the studs, stick up, yeah, or Peter, okay.
That's what our signs up there on Main Street project did. I mean, they slid down,
Yeah.
set them down real low and they actually just went to sleep.
Yeah.
And then we'll retro concrete back to the goal or whatever looks neat, concise and tidy.
And I think concrete, we've looked at a couple Shane Gates of covering options today. This red team, that did the bathroom floors, they do some stuff on it. And I think, it's easier to paint than asphalt. If we wanted to paint the lines ourselves or something, I think covering's easier with concrete.
Okay, we have a motion and a second regarding the concrete project. Any further questions? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those same sign. Now, the community center bathroom, is that what you're talking about?
Yes,
next?
sir.
Before you start that, I'm just going to count, if I'm going to pass this down, this is what I assume that it's what it's going to look like when he fixes it.
That's the one of the options.
That's one of the options.
So that one is the red team coating in that section of the bathroom floors. Red team coatings, that's priced, both bathrooms at $8,164.50. And that exact sample there is their stock grade. This price is the medium grade, which would add a little bit more tack to it with it being slip resistant. The two quotes that Shane got was that one, and then the separate quote was this Team Red has a 3-year warranty that comes with it. The second quote they got was from J. Ross. They did another quote that came back. I think they came back at $10,528.
That's what your bathroom floors will look like.
But it didn't have a warranty. So more expensive without a warranty.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to proceed with Parks and Rec Director's recommendation, get these floors repaired at the new center.
Ms. Deanna, you good?
I'm good, thank you, and I'll second it.
You second?
That's the Poly Red Chip System at 8164.50.
Team Red coatings.
Listen.
Is that a standard color, Drew?
There's, that's the color Shane went that had, there's other options.
I think there's a sheet in there.
It's
It actually has
They
a
got
locker,
cover
but I
sheet.
guess that's why it's
Green,
I'm just guessing.
Well, that cream, I just want to get rid of that cream, it's just dirty already. It's just my opinion.
Get used to it.
Oh, my gosh, it's got
Shower at home.
grit. It's got grit.
Yeah.
The grit with it. So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You good?
Yes, sir.
Wait a minute, please. We have a little trouble leaving this. We didn't leave it.
So the next item on my report is the Technology Park sidewalk update. This, ready, set, go grant from VDOT.
Drew, before you carry on, I do have a question.
Yes.
And it's for Mr. Lambert too. Are we gonna surface that and paint that ourselves? Or are we getting quotes to paint the markings in the court,
For the basketball
for
court.
the basketball court?
I can tell you, this Team Red Coatings gave Shane a quote for it because he was getting started on it.
Yeah.
One coating was $19,000, another one was $16,000.
That was to cover the whole, that wasn't just
That
lines
wasn't
over
paint, it
concrete.
wasn't just the paint
Wait a
and
minute.
lines
That was to put a rubber coating on the concrete.
on concrete, so.
I think as long as we don't do a slick finish,
We're gonna do a broom
yeah,
finish.
and then we paint our lines.
Yeah, do it ourselves.
You can buy, we can buy a paint kit,
Like the tennis court paint?
a stencil kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Grit.
schedule kit's not too much.
Are you talking about a rubber? Talking about getting some abrasive sand for that concrete too, to get a little more.
A little more grip? Okay.
And then we could paint the free throw line and
Yeah, get
Yeah.
the lane and all that.
Three-point line, I don't believe that'll cost enough to need a motion, but
I think we
No,
just,
we'll do
that's
ourselves,
good,
right?
take care of
let's
that.
do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Looks like we'll get a town logo over in there.
That's all right.
Come on, the swimming pool, we can have one.
Yeah. That's the Dust Bowl, remember that.
Yeah.
But I've been meeting with, had a couple of Zoom meetings with some guys from Richmond with VDOT and the engineering firm that's in charge of this grant project. The latest update we have, what they're looking at wanting to do, basically what this engineering firm does is they give us their best option of what they think will get funded. The best way to go around and do stuff that I think Richmond will pick us to get funded. They weren't excited about having the sidewalk in at Highlands Drive because they needed to connect it. There's a reason to put a sidewalk in, they wanted to connect it to an existing sidewalk. So what they've actually proposed, what we're going to look at doing possibly, if you all want to move forward with it, is they would bring that sidewalk from Main Street down around Positively Gymnastics. And if you look, the field at the IDA owns, it's a soccer place, if you look to the right, you're going past Fairtown CrossFit, past the gymnastics, government center going right. There's a maintenance entrance right there.
Just like a driveway.
They would like, yeah, it's like, they would like to break off there and kind of make that a walkway through the woods, like a walking trail, and tie it into the farmer's market. And that way, that sidewalk that comes up Wendy's Hill would be a continuous loop.
Our property right there, is that the county's?
That was, the IDA donated us that property, correct?
Supposed to be a dog.
Yeah, but, well, that was the part where we were gonna do the, IDA, so when we were talking about doing that project, that whole project where the wooded area is, the walking, the amphitheater and the walking trails and all, that was, but now, it will end up, if we're, let's see, we have, the shelter's ours, isn't it?
Yes.
So will the sidewalk go, or where will it end?
We'll tie it into the sidewalk. There's an existing sidewalk that goes up the hill above that Wendy's.
There is.
We tie it into that existing
So that-
parking lot.
But, so there won't be a sidewalk going straight down behind the government center?
There won't, it'll get us to the maintenance entrance.
Right.
And I feel if someday we want to do that out of our own fund, capital outlay project, we can take it on being Highlands Drive ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Well, as long as VDOT's recommended it, I'm good.
What they're saying is once you get to Highland Drive, there's no
It's
existing.
hard for them to fight for a funded sidewalk that leads into traffic, kind of what they're saying.
You mean they don't want to throw people out in traffic, Drew?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'd like to pursue funding and just see what some options that we have.
absolutely.
The next one we'll talk about in legal. The last one I forgot, or not the last one on here, but I've added a couple other, kind of piggybacks on what Mr. Burke was talking about earlier, our planning commission RFP information. I talked with Agnew. They just updated their zoning ordinance as well. I talked with Matthew Lane through the Lane Group about a comprehensive plan zoning ordinance. He advised us to find a group that specified in that field. He said that they have done comprehensive plan before, but they've never really messed with zoning or code before. There's a few things coming down the pipeline. One, they said abortion clinics. I don't know where all the stuff stands. I know, I think Kevin marijuana dispensaries is 2024. I think it started up in Virginia. I think there's quite a few things we need to get ahead
Yeah,
of.
General Assembly didn't do anything with it.
Really?
Not this year, did it? Just talked about it.
Okay. But all those things, and Tyler Vince was a birthday group out of Charlottesville that ended up doing the town of Athens. He's supposed to give me a template for that RFP that we may be able to.
Well, you know, we discovered over the last few months, the discussion about this comprehensive plan. It is way out of date. I don't think I would like to see us, and hope the council would agree, I'd at least like to get an RFP for both of those and try to get as many people involved in it. Like you just said, apparently there's towns are contacting Marion's, probably got some folks you could RFP.
Right.
I think Shane may even have some experience writing some of those as far as the comprehensive plan goes. Or he's got some templates he can get from the plateau.
Correct.
At least try to get those and get them in front of us. That, if I remember, that comprehensive plan and that zoning ordinance, now that won't be a 1 month deal. It'll take,
No,
it's a long process.
It's a long process.
And that's okay, and we need to,
I think,
we just need to start talking about it anyway.
yeah, I just want to start the conversation off. I think my next move is probably call a planning commission meeting and give it to planning commission and see
Okay.
all the stuff they want to talk about and get in there. Next subject, this actually came up Friday. Our guys have been working for the parking lot down there at the theater, starting on that with Nathan's plan. The parking lot's down to grade, now they're working on the footers for that concrete wall. They have ran into solid rock all the way up the side of that, where the footer needs to go.
Which side?
If you're looking
On the
down
theater side?
on the theater side, they still, they're on bedrock right now, and the plans call, if we want to do a footer and a concrete wall for another close to 30 inches. So I talked with Nathan. I think we can bring the parking lot up a little, but not near what we need because the grade to get in, we want to drag coming up. It's a pretty short span to try to raise up a lot. His recommendation, and he thinks it's probably going to be about the same cost factor, is to stop the pounding of rock, get us a base layer of gravel in there, pack it, and do a segmented retaining wall up to that section. Still do the concrete sidewalks and the concrete terrace and all that, but as far as the wall goes, he thinks a segmented retaining wall.
Do we lose any of our parking at all?
No.
Oh, we don't?
No.
That's good.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. There's no need to go, how much, did you say 30 inches
30
more
inches.
rock? I
Yeah.
like Nathan's idea. Lord have mercy.
Because that's, it calls for, I think, 6 inches of gravel, a footer, and then 2 foot above that footer of fill, so. We're just now about a
Just
foot
work
below
with
grade.
you and Nathan and Billy and. Is everybody all right with that? Okay.
Reached out to Aaron Morrison today to get an update with Point Broadband. He says his senior people at Point are still in litigation with Verizon, held up. They started construction on the east end of town, dodging Verizon poles as much as they can. He said he ran into this situation on numerous projects where Verizon just drags their feet. And not much of an update right now, but it will pass. It's just they try to slow down everything they can.
Well, Drew, I'm going to ask, of course, I'm going to assume that the council, I'm not the only one getting these calls, or not necessarily calls, if I see people at the post office. It never fails. I can guarantee you for this week's out, I'm going to be quizzed. When are we getting Point Broadband? When are we getting Point Broadband? Y'all passed it. They read the paper, passed the contract, you know? So I'm trying to find a way, and I guess, Sean, I'm asking, we kind of need to, our public needs to know what we've run into, okay? It's not that they're not doing it.
Right.
You know, I mean, if you're out and about, you'll see it in sections of the town, but the litigation side with Verizon has obviously slowed it down. Is that right? Is that what you're telling us?
It's Verizon's poles that they haven't given permits.
Okay. And I don't know, but do y'all get questions from the citizens about when we're getting Point Broadband?
Well, one issue is we put a deadline on it.
Yeah.
When we have a contract standing, and people are asking why. And I don't get a lot of it, but I have gotten some of it. I think you and I have talked about that, and that's why we've kind of started holding their feet to the fire a little bit, but at this point, they're 3-4 months out from what the contract was. But I think we just need to give, as a PR, public relations standpoint, give an update on where we're at, where Point's at, and the issues that we ran into.
I'm gonna back up on you. I'm sorry, Drew.
Okay.
With our planning commission regarding this comprehensive plan and its ordinances,
Yes, sir.
so you're gonna call a planning commission meeting, you gonna try to do that pretty soon?
Yes, sir.
Good. All right, sorry.
The next thing I had, did you want to discuss the town hall landscaping?
Deanna, if y'all remember, we've gotten quotes from Mr. Eder. If y'all remember, we talked at the Parks and Rec Committee about the dying, we got some dying landscape right here in front of the town hall and down in front of, what's the drugstore, Family Drug. Okay, in the median there. And I believe, he's sent quotes for, he did it, is it two different kind of, he gave a quote to take care of the front of the dying, coming down the steps, the entrance, front of the property, and the planters, right, the planter box here where the town hall sign is. Then he's got a second quote down
For the
at Family Road. Is that what you were wanting, Deanna? So,
Drew, are they taking out this rock on the rock walkway where the rubber mulch is everywhere coming down the steps? Well, are we planning on pouring a footer over there to keep a bed, you know, in the plans?
Like the border,
Yeah, was we planning on doing that, or?
wasn't aware of it. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen those landscaping plans. I asked Nathan if he had any.
Yeah.
He couldn't find any.
Okay.
I don't believe he did one here, did he, Scott?
I think you took their border going up both sides.
Yeah, we need a little footer.
Oh, beside the steps there?
Yes.
What that would do, it'd do a couple of things. Number one, it'd keep the mulch in place. Number two, when the guys cut weeds and mow, it would keep them from having to try to keep them hitting mulch. It just made a really nice border to the landscaping there.
Would you be okay with that, Deanna?
I would. The only thing on his quotes, he added some hollies on the front.
Oh, gosh.
You don't want those?
I don't know.
We'll take them out. Well, you're the chair of the committee, Ms.
If anybody's ever walked into a holly bush, they don't like
Well, they grow big too. I tried to cut mine down and they just come like that.
So what was it, 980 for the front here?
No, it was,
I saw something with 980,
I think that was the Family Drug.
Family Drug.
Yeah, that was the one I mentioned.
That's the
Talked about-
crepe myrtle.
Yeah, he talked about some 6 or 7 foot crepe myrtles.
That's a little high there, isn't
I
it?
think that might impede traffic a little bit.
If you're coming from, if you're coming toward Main Street from Family Drug, 7 foot high trees down there, that's probably going to, I'd say VDOT might quiz us about that on restricted.
Well,
We had mentioned once before, having Robin and build some planters.
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
the thing about crepe myrtle is you have to worry about box trucks and things like that constantly.
What do you want?
Rubbing branches.
What do you want? Just, you want to focus on the front now? Is that what you're?
Right.
You want to do anything downtown?
What's the quote on that?
The front was 2,700 to 3,300 for
And
the
that,
town hall.
and that included all that and tall, all that stuff that y'all don't want, like holly and,
Some of it, we were replacing some of that through there.
Yeah, some of the evergreens there now are not evergreen. They're brown.
and every brown, and some of them have died. They're past brown.
I like the idea of
Fire
Family Drug instead of, you said something about the crepe myrtle. I mean, you could get them different ways, different
I think,
heights.
and
But I
another
like
thing that
the-
scares me about that is I think the whole reason that doesn't work is it's on top of a sidewalk and there's only a few inches of
I like
soil
that.
there. So
What do
if
you
you have
want?
really
Planters, I'd rather focus on planters there, and that gets everything up off the
Yeah,
And put some more dirt in the planters.
yeah.
Okay. Are y'all good with Miss Jackson working with Drew and Diane on a proposal to come back to council with? If she's willing to do it, Miss Jackson, I don't need a volunteer.
I'm willing if they're.
I'm good to move forward with both projects if it stays under Drew's,
5.
5 and let them proceed.
That's good. You good with that?
That sounds good. Just make changes
Very good.
when we feel like we need to in the proposal.
I just listen to you.
You might want to ask, what you and Diane get out about that.
We can.
Yeah.
And then,
Okay.
last thing I had was, talked to Chief a little earlier today. I wasn't here for that, grant. What is the COVID response card on the back of that? I thought we only needed to leave that on there a year, and we were able to take that off, we
Is
could
that-
remove that.
I was talking to Drew about that, that's something, my understanding, once that was on, once we had that for a year, it converted to hours. Is it possible to remove that lettering from it?
I think so.
We get answers to call, people, there's something going on, and they get kind of a little bit extra alarm, I think, or something.
We'll take it off and they come back and tell you.
Tomorrow,
you gotta put it back up.
What about Chinese fire balloon response?
Right. Yeah.
That's all I have, unless there's any questions.
Anything else for Drew at this time?
Drew, one of our signs got damaged in a vehicle wreck. Have we made progress on
We
that?
have Keith.
Insurance and stuff?
Yeah, Keith was fixing that for us, came out, I think it was around $9,000.
Yep.
But,
What's that?
when I got to high school.
Oh, yeah, the car wreck, the wreck out
Yeah,
there.
but it has billed their insurance.
Okay.
Anything else for Drew right now? Good report, Drew. Thank you.
Thank you, Drew.
Chief Deskins, you're up.
Hey, Mayor, real quick before you do this, can I just say something I forgot to say? Daryl's here tonight, and I just want to commend y'all for the job that they do when they're out doing trash and stuff. A couple weeks ago, Randy was under the weather, and I couldn't get up. I didn't realize the place is closed on Wednesdays.
Wednesdays.
They had already picked up all the trash in the back, but they stopped and made an extra stop for me, and I just want to commend these guys for what they do out there on the roads.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for making us look good, Darryl.
I don't think they.
We had every time asked for a raise.
Yeah.
Okay, Chief.
All right, thank you guys. Just kind of give you some of the numbers for January. We had 56 total summonses and arrests, 11 traffic, 5 warning, and 40 criminal. We had 40 total arrests, 33 misdemeanor, and 7 felonies. Responded to 13 total motor vehicle crashes, had 20 calls to assist motorists, and responded to 587 calls for service. Patrolled 9,329 miles. Start kind of just doing some community policing events, and I'm working on developing a better spreadsheet to show you some of that stuff. But we intensified some of the walkthroughs of the schools. It's now policy and procedure for us that each officer is doing at least one walkthrough through every school per shift. So I think that's going pretty good. We're also doing walkthroughs at local basketball games, stuff like that. Some other community policing things comes up. Myself, Sergeant Fletcher, went and stacked some firewood for a widow lady out in town there. And in January, I gave a total of 6 speeches to high schools on career development and stuff like that. So I'd like just to kind of, spoke to Mr. Gilman, kind of just keep updated on some more community stuff.
Appreciate that, Eric.
Are they working downtown? Are they doing the downtown? Are they doing it like on the side? Do they get out and walk any on that one? Courthouse and as far as
Right,
walking?
like foot patrol, I don't know how much foot patrol's being done right now. We can definitely increase it, especially once it starts getting warmer come springtime.
Yeah.
Then, once springtime comes, it's always been, my standard policy is, once it starts getting warmer nights, each officer has to conduct 2 walkthroughs through Fox Meadows and Lebanon Square.
Good.
But we can obviously add other things to that, so
I'm glad to see, that's a good I'm glad you're doing that,
we'll start.
Chief.
Yeah, add downtown to that if you would.
Absolutely.
Maybe
Especially
different
during
areas.
airports.
Yep, I sure will. I'll make sure, and, we've had some really nice weather too, so we can go ahead and start doing it now as weather gets in there, and then once spring hits, it'll be every night. Everything else is pretty much business as normal, going pretty good. I added in the investigations monthly report on that. You can kind of see who's taking in a lot of calls and stuff on that. Doing pretty good as far as getting a lot of cases cleared and everything. Up and running pretty good on staff. The new hires are doing excellent. Kayla is progressing very well through her FTO. She's actually way ahead of schedule. She's actually in her own car now. She's still under FTO for quite a while, but she's at least in her own car. Officer Dale, of course, is already out doing his thing because he's certified, and Nick is in his 7th week of the academy and is so far the top of his class. I think so far out of almost 200 questions, he's missed like 10.
Wow.
So
When does he get out?
he will get out in April. He'll graduate in April.
He'll be here before we know.
Yep. And then we'll have him back.
Then when will she go? July?
She will start, I'm sorry, he will graduate in May, she will start in April. They'll overlap for about 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yep.
And she'll have a shorter period of time, about
Yes,
2 or
she'll
3
get,
weeks, right?
she'll get about a month
A month?
out.
Okay.
It'll still be the same amount of time, so she'll graduate at the same time, but there'll be a month she can come back here and
Come
work
back and work.
as opposed to being in the academy.
All right.
Even if they're in the academy, they'll work with the and things like that.
Yes, they will. They
Just as
will.
a presence.
Right, they will.
Fantastic.
They'll come out for that kind of stuff, and, you know, they really like doing stuff like that. I did have a little bit of an idea, and I can get you some numbers on it and everything. For our Cedar, I would like to, for our events, Cedar Fest, beach party and stuff, I would like to see your guys' thoughts, on it, if you would like to see like an alternate uniform. Like a nice Lebanon polo that has a badge on it, something, you know, and, maybe a different, like a pair of khaki, BDU style uniform pants or something. Something that still sets it off, still shows police, still looks good, but just maybe something a little different just to us.
We've got a lot of folks that come in for these events that we don't know.
Right.
I'm open to anything. I just want whoever comes in here sees our police.
Oh, yeah, it'll absolutely.
They know that there's a police.
Yeah,
That's
it'll
all I'm asking.
absolutely be a noticeable police uniform.
Okay.
I just didn't know, I just kind of felt like that'd be something, do a little something special for those events.
So,
Maybe police on the back.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll never be a police uniform, just to, like an alternate to what we want.
with the weapons.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
All right. Anything else for the chief right now? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Taylor?
A couple things to discuss in closed session, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Do we have any committee reports tonight? Mr. Gilmer?
Not at this time, Mayor.
Mr. Fields? No. Ms. Jackson, we hit a couple of yours, haven't we?
Yes.
Mr. Leonard?
No, sir, I gave pretty substantial
I'm sorry.
committee report.
Mr. Kegley? Call it.
No.
J.L. Leonard. I can't do J.L. Leonard. Mr. Kegley, how about that?
Okay.
Okay, so you, Brad? Good. Okay, now, Mr. Leonard.
Give me a second time, Mayor. I got one thing. Drew, we do need to start, I think that new water rate for PSA will be due maybe in April, if I'm not mistaken, so we do need to work on that. Based on last year's numbers, I'm getting them some updated figures for the cost of water.
They have, came to look at the records.
No, they're aware they're here.
You mean they didn't want to come look at those 21 audits, them big old books in there?
Not yet. They didn't have a problem writing that letter, but they never showed up.
Yeah, okay. Anything else, Mr. Gilmer?
Yes, on a budget-wise, how's the fire department on their annual budget? Did you check that? I know that Mr.
Yes.
McCoy had a request in the packet. Are we okay to move forward with this request, approving that request to send those four?
I'm good with it, considering they're paying everything else, I'm good for it. They have, I think they were right around 23,000 left, but John didn't foresee any other, that includes fire truck rate as well, fire truck rate's taken out of that already.
I'd like to make a motion to approve that, Mayor.
A motion to approve?
Fire Department International Conference for those four leadership positions of fire department.
Second.
Got a motion to second, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Continues.
No, sir. Thank you.
Last call. He'll be back. He'll be back. Mr. Leonard, I'm sorry.
Deanna's over Rick, right?
Yeah, she's chair of the rep.
Yeah, need to take a look at the Veterans Memorial out there. I don't know if you've been out there to look at it lately. I went out there because somebody told me I needed to, and I looked, and the concrete block on top of it, there's about 4 of them that's broke, and all it is concrete. It's
The
going,
caps?
yeah, the caps is going to deteriorate. Now, the ones standing vertical may be marble. The ones on top need to be too, because that is running down and getting between them, because my uncle had asked me if he got his plaque yet, and I went out there and looked.
Okay.
And it's got a white film all over it. And in my opinion, the only way to do that is to clean it and seal it and put new cap blocks on top of it. Because you go out there and look, you can take your hand and crumble.
So will that get all that lime on, or whatever
It's
that's off
getting
there?
all over and coming all the way down the side of it.
Are you saying that's starting from the cap
That's
down?
from the cap block down, that's where that's all coming.
Huh?
No, I said I wanted to marble.
Can you put that on your list
Right here.
and get with Billy and?
Yeah,
Is that
we
what-
wash it off.
If you looked at it,
Yeah, they wash it off right once a month.
yeah, if you notice how the top of them deteriorate where they sit out,
Yeah.
they're porous and the water gets down in them. Wintertime it freezes and starts getting warm, starts breaking and crumbling off. And then it goes down,
Robbie, there's an impression of some kind of limestone in there, the white stuff.
probably is out of the top cap block.
Okay, you think, okay.
That's what I think. In my opinion, would be put some kind of sealer on the outside of the ones where the plaques are at, and put a marble cap on top of that. Or a cap similar to the ones they put on these walls they built down here at the, not round, of course,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
something similar to that that would cap over it.
I think we looked at that when we looked at Veterans Park for the new landscaping also.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah,
You know
something
what I
needs to be
remember
done.
though?
Y'all shooting down my marble wall?
No, what I remember about that issue, we went out to clean them, okay, the plaque areas, where the plaque. But I don't remember actually doing an inspection of the
But yeah, take
caps
stock
at the
right there.
top. That's what I
You
don't.
take your hand and crumble it, and the powder that's on it, which I'm guessing got something to do with the limestone, you take your finger and rub
Oh,
it
man,
Okay, because I can't read.
she can't
off.
read.
No, you can't do that about this high.
Billy stated
It's
that
run down to
really
about
a
this
hazard
level.
For anybody
Mine on
walking
top is
by,
killing
we
us.
gonna
We're-
break
I
it
mean,
off.
You've seen it, ain't you?
Billy was telling me about it, and he said it's really a hazard for anybody walking by where it's crumbling, it might fall.
well, what about those caps? Again, can we get those caps that we've got down on our other newly built walls in a
You get them in
gray color, a different
Any
color?
color you want.
But do you want marble though, or something that's not gonna have,
We want
it's not
something
gonna,
that's
So you have to find
non-porous.
something
non-porous?
Cause
those too.
it's porous, water gets in there, in the wintertime it freezes, and when it freezes, it starts to come apart and crumble.
It's all marble. We need to check, I'd like it, if we do, I'd like to put that marble on top.
Y'all look into it.
Cause no more than that is, it shouldn't be terribly expensive.
Well, they deserve.
They deserve to be
recognized.
took care of,
Take
absolutely.
care of. Okay. Anything else for you, Mr. Leonard? Elijah,
Yes, sir.
you're up.
You lost
You're
the
up.
words?
He said he was good on his
I'm good.
committee.
Oh, you good, I thought you had another.
I mean, it's a first, but he did.
I was looking at my notes.
Get out of here.
I made a motion to go to closed session. For the reasons, for the reasons of personnel and legal,
Anything else?
yeah.
What about a 10-minute recess?
Absolutely.
I'll second that.
All those, have you got the section numbers? You know them by heart, don't you?
Yes, sir.
All those in favor of the motion, say aye. Opposed, same sign. We stand in closed session with a 10-minute recess prior to the.
Mayor.